Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream and also watching the replay. Probably if you're watching the replay, you're probably watching your reading again. So I'm really excited, and something really cool announcement is that I am going to start doing these mini readings once a week. Right now, Friday is the perfect day to do them, so we're just going to stick with Friday, and we'll just see how it goes. I've been realizing that I should be doing these more often. Hey Kim, hey Jay, welcome in. So if you're here for the first time watching my channel, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live like this. Hey Valerie, and also when I upload videos, which I do quite often. And also make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. So if you're watching live, especially, X out of the chat and then give the video a thumbs up and then come right back in. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my newsletter, please do so. Hey Brittany, I send out a moon magic report once a week, giving you the phase that the moon is in. So it's like the report of what the moon is doing for the week. So the phase, the sign, and the aspects that it's making to other astrological signs. Hey, Lindsay. And so it gives you sort of insight into our emotional flow for the week, which is, we're really affected by the moon, especially as women. Speaking of women, I actually have my Woman and the Moon course available online, a self-study course. And on my website, channelforgrace.guru, which actually teaches you about flowing with the cycles of the moon and understanding yourself at that level of embodying the sacred divine feminine energy as a woman on the planet. And so much of it has to do with how much the moon and our emotions affect us. And when we don't know our emotions and we don't know how we flow, it's really difficult to sort of manage life or be in balance in our daily lives. It's really, really eye-opening and empowering to understand this information. So check that out as well. But the moon, for example, today the moon is in Leo, and I am feeling amazing. Plus it's Friday night, so happy Friday. And I hope you guys are already excited about the weekend coming up. We are moving into a full moon in Virgo on Monday. We're going to do the full moon ceremony on that day. So there's a buildup right now. Can you guys feel it? Because I can definitely feel it in my own life. And especially because I was born with the moon in Leo. So whenever, the moon comes back to Leo, I just feel amazing. I feel happy. I feel joyful. I feel connected. I feel like myself. I feel like I can be myself. Does anybody else have their moon in Leo that's watching or that's in the chat right now? Also, if you ever want to book an astrology reading, so we're going to do readings tonight. These are mini readings, and the way to sign up is in the description of the video. There's a link. Just click it, donate $25, and then you'll get on the list. There's already 5 people on the list. I think I'm going to do, last week I did 11 people, and it took me 3 hours to finish those readings. But it was amazing, and I was surprised at how actually fast the time went. Lindsay says, I'm totally loving your newsletters. Thank you for sharing those. Yeah, you're welcome. And I also released, I just released that Venus in Taurus. Who got that email? Venus is now in Taurus, you guys. Hey, Michelle. Yes, Valerie, I know you have we share that same moon sign. But Venus in Taurus is like a transit that is occurring right now. Hey, Alexa, and hey, Constance. And it's affecting all of us right now in a very beautiful way, because Venus is the goddess of love. So it has to do with relationships. It has to do with important things in our lives that help us ground and see the beauty all around us. I'm going to add Lindsay to the list because I just saw that you paid. Okay, so if you ever want to book a personal astrology or tarot reading from me, you can do so on my website. But these are mini readings, and you can pick from one of 3 options. I can look, if you know the time that you were born, it's best. If you don't, that's okay. But we will, it gives us information, but it gives us less than we have if we actually had the time that you were born and the exact location. So you can either have me look at your natal chart, you can have me look at the transits, or you can have me do a tarot or astrology reading. Is there anything, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to share with you guys before we dive into the readings? It was a newsletter. It was the woman and the moon. I think that's it. Oh, and if you guys just came in, I'm going to start doing these mini readings once a week. And right now, Fridays seems to be the best day that works for me. So we're just going to go live on Friday nights. And obviously, whenever there's a full moon or new moon. So why don't we get started with these readings? I'm going to say a little prayer, clear the space. And let me tell you the list that I have so far. My girl Venus has come home. So we've got Brittany, we've got Valerie, Susan, Micah, Shannon, and then Lindsay. And if you want to get on the list, just click the description of the video and send $25 to my PayPal. I'll add you to the list. And when we get to your reading, just have your question ready or your information ready. Oh, Kimberly just signed up to. I love how my PayPal sends me these notifications. So it's like in the moment, boom, I got it. I don't need to like go into the PayPal and see. All right, here we go. Just gonna take a moment to thank our spirit guides, angels, and teachers for being with us today. I would like to ask help clearing my energy and also the energy of the cards and the iPad that I'm going to be using for the readings, the astrology readings. And I would like to ask help too, connecting to my inner wisdom, clearing my third eye so that I can see with as much clarity as possible what messages are coming through for everyone that's on the list and everyone that will get on the list. And because there's a lot, I'll talk about it in a minute, but because there's a lot of Neptunian energy right now in the sky with the astrology, we are most likely feeling sort of a sense of illusion or a sense of being in a dreamlike state that we can't kind of figure out. And so this clearing is very important, not just for me, but also for everyone that's watching and everyone that's going to get a reading. Please clear their energy as well so that they can also receive the messages that are coming through. Thank you. Okay. Who else just came in? Hey, I think I saw Shannon come in. Hey there. And Wendy just came in. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so Brittany think you wanted me to do a tarot reading, but will you remind me? And also, if it is tarot reading, will you give me your question and what you'd like to know? Oh, actually, I just realized something. I did forget something, and it's sitting right freaking here. So hold on, hold up a minute. So what I have here is a jar full of names from last week that I haven't done the raffle yet, but I am raffling off a one of my new type of readings, which is a transit reading. It's an hour-long transit reading. Hey, Micah. And also tarot reading. So it's like 2 in 1. We look at the astrology, the transit, you ask whatever question you need answered, and then we pull some cards. And so to promote that kind of reading, which is actually not even yet available for purchase because I haven't uploaded the link onto my website, but I will this weekend for anyone that wants to sign up for that. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, because with tarot you get to ask a question and we pull the cards, but with the astrology, what the astrology brings into it is this clarity and specific energy that's affecting you right now, and looking at different, the different houses or the different areas of your life that it's affecting gives you more precise information. So that's the cool thing about combining those two things together. The names that I have on this list, this is from last week. Alexa's name is in here. Deidre's name is in here. Karen's name is in here. Elizabeth's name is in here. Angela is in here. Julene is in here. Christina Maria is on the list. Dawn is on the list. Crystal's on the list. Stephanie's on the list. And Lash Boss is on the list. Now, the names actually have the initial for the last name, so we don't get confused. But let's see who is going to win that reading. I wish I had like soundtrack music, and I'm not really looking at it. Let me close my eyes. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who's going to win this astrology? Who needs it the most right now? Who needs this astrology reading the most? Okay. We got one. I got one. Let's see. Oh, Crystal. Crystal, you are the winner of the astrology and tarot reading. So what I would like you to do, Crystal, if you're watching, send me an email, jaigobind@channelforgrace.guru, but I will also look into my PayPal and see if I can somehow contact you as well. Congratulations! How exciting. Okay, let me put this down. Ooh, it's getting hot up in here with the sweater. So, now, let's get to the readings. I saw that, Kim, and then let me just go check PayPal real quick. Nice, Shannon. Oh, you're Pooch's event. Okay, go take your dog out. So I'm gonna double check PayPal to make sure. So far it's up to date. The people that have been added are Lindsay and Kimberly. So first up is Brittany. So Brittany, okay, so you have a tarot question. Perfect. What's your question? What will my next month or two look like? Anything good to look forward to? What's your sun and rising again, Brittany? I know I should remember. I did like a freaking 30-page report for you. But I've looked at so many charts. It's crazy how many charts you end up looking at. So what's in store for Brittany for the next month or two? Is there anything good to look forward to? feel like you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart. I feel like I remember that. Sag and Aries. Okay. Whoa. What's going on over here? Take it easy. Take it easy, Zog. So far, some really cool stuff. I'm seeing a lot of cool stuff. What have you been feeling for yourself personally in your life? Okay. I mean, these cards are like... Yeah, I just remember like Capricorn energy for some reason. Okay. So this is actually quite interesting. Let me keep pulling cards. I'm going to pull one from the Lightworker Oracle deck. And this is kind of like a theme. Theme. So what's the theme for Brittany for the next couple of months? What is she dealing with? What does she need to know? Discomfort, okay. Like changes need to happen, work and home. Well, that's interesting because, by the way, you got the third ray of creative intelligence from the Lightworker Oracle. There is, I mean, the nodes, right? The nodes are in Cancer and Capricorn right now. So Cancer is the home, Capricorn is work. And then the Capricorn stellium, my hair is just like kind of annoying me. Oh, that's not, I'm like transparent right now. But I was saying that the nodes right now are in Cancer and Capricorn. And so Capricorn is the career house and Cancer is the home, the house of the home. So I feel like right now that's a very strong theme for all of us. And I think you're feeling that very strongly. But I do see a lot of really cool stuff here in the tarot cards, because you've literally got the 10 of Cups, the Page of Wands, the 10 of Crystals, the Lover's card. Like, what's going on over here? The King of Cups and the Sun. Let's do this oracle reading real quick, because this is the theme. All right, so the third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation, which is actually, this is exactly what I'm seeing in the cards. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, that's the Virgo full moon, you guys. Make connections and networks, that's the 11th house. And synthesize information from various sources, that's like Uranus and Taurus, into one coherent whole. Archangel Chamuel helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. So with the, okay, so basically it's almost like what I see in this card, right? It's like the ray of creative intelligence. I see Mercury. I see Uranus and Taurus. And you know, right now, like we've been going through many changes and many shifts. And if you feel like a deep desire to move and to, you were saying move and kind of like maybe change career or change the type of work, you need to like listen to that, because that's your intuition telling you, because we're supposed to be creating a new world. And, you know, in our own personal lives, like in the collective, we're seeing it unfold in a certain way, but in our own personal lives, we need to be doing the things and that our intuition is guiding us to do. even if they're scary. So I actually don't see anything like, there's no negative in this reading. The 10 of Cups is about having like the perfect life. The 10 of Cups is like, you know, you finding the perfect, you know, the perfect lover. You even got the Lover's card, which is very interesting. The Lover's card is also Gemini energy, but it is basically the relationships in your life that are romantic. It's the relationships in your life that are like soulmate relationships, or divine partnerships, or even twin flame, if you believe in twin flames. So it's like the 10 of Cups is coming, this like powerful, beautiful energy of you feeling like at your best and having your best life ever. Also with the 10 of Crystals. So the 10 of Crystals too is like stability. It's a lot of stability that's coming in your life. The King of Cups is the king that has mastered his emotions. He's also responsible. He's also understanding, compassionate, open-hearted. He understands at a deeper level what's going on, but it is that mature energy that is guiding you forward. And I know, and I feel like you do have an essence of maturity about yourself. I do remember now, like the Saturn theme in your life. This is a lot of Saturn energy. Plus the number 10 is your 10th house, because you have an Aries rising. So your 10th house of career. And remember that all of the Capricorn energy, now I remember, wow, I just like click. So all of this Capricorn, the stellium that's going on in the sky is happening in your 10th house of career. And then in the home, in the opposite house, the 4th house is the home. And that's why you're feeling this strong pull. You got to go with it. You got to go with it, because it's the end of old structures and the creation of a whole new world. So if you're feeling that like something needs to change, something needs to shift, is because the universe is telling you this is the direction that you need to go, right? You're getting that ray of creative intelligence to use your intelligence and your creativity and your intuition to guide you forward. And as you do this, all of these beautiful things are going to come into your life. And this is about you, because this is the sun. So this is about you. This is about your essence. This is about who you are. And you are like the freedom seeker. You're a Sagittarius. So you're like, you want to go on a journey, right? You want to go discover the world. You want to go see things that we've never seen before. That is massive right now. Most people are afraid to go do that, right? You just went on this like massive trip that I'm sure was like amazing, even though we haven't even talked about it. Like I watched your Instagram posts and stuff, and I was just like, wow, because like I remember being there, you know? I remember being, you know, in Peru and being like so mesmerized by all the beautiful the scenery, the mountains, the, you know, the ancient sites and stuff like that. And so I feel like you, another thing though, when you go to sacred sites like that, and I know you went to Machu Picchu too, when you go to sacred sites like that, that shit activates you. Like it's not a coincidence that you were there during this time of a big shift, right? So there's a message that is coming here, and it's being brought to you by the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is the messenger. It is the messenger that brings a very beautiful message, a powerful message. And I think for you, the message is that you right now are in a place to make some powerful choices in your life, but you have to trust yourself. You have to fully dive into areas of your life, right? The change is very uncomfortable, but it is inevitable. 2020 is all about change. Yes, I'm sure it has been really hard adjusting back, because it's like you actually probably traveled into like different dimensions over there, like energetically, just being in those places. Like I remember being in Machu Picchu, and it's like a otherworldly experience, right? It's like the opposite of time. It's like time and space is that Saturn controlled structural energy. It's our daily lives that we kind of control, and You know, it's an illusion. Time and space, they're all like illusions because they really don't, like, time doesn't really exist. And so you just went to a place where time was irrelevant, and you got to really connect with nature spirits, and like the spirit of the mountain, right? And I really sincerely feel like you have to like just piggyback on that energy and let it take you. And if you are, obviously, whatever path you choose right now, you're moving towards abundance. That's what I see in the cards. You're just going towards abundance. So I hope that gives you like clarity. I hope this message kind of comes through and you understand it. But there is a very powerful transformation too, which, look at this card. So at the bottom, she's sitting there and she's cracking. She's has dried up and she's cracking like the desert, right? And then all these butterflies come out of her, and then she actually she's a new, like, reborn, right? She's spirit form. It's like a rebirth, and butterflies are all about transformation. So that is what's going on for you right now. So you have to trust that shift, that transition is definitely not an easy one. That's the major theme for you. So thanks for your question. I hope that helped you out a little bit. I see a lot of good stuff coming for you. I don't see anything like negative. I just know that it's difficult to go through transitions like that. So you really have to trust your intuition right now. Okay. So Valerie is next. Valerie, if you want to put up your question, please. And if you want to get on the list, the link is in the description. It's $25, and I'll put your name on the list. Yeah, that card is amazing. You're welcome. Oh, okay. Let's do it. So what I'm going to do first is, let's pull up. So do you know when you're moving? Or are you wanting to know just what the energies, right? Like what the transits that are going on right now are kind of affecting you? The full moon is a pretty big deal. Let's see if I have your chart saved here. I may not. So do you remember your information? I just like deleted all the images too that I had from all the past charts I've done because it was like getting too jam-packed with stuff. So let's just do it from the beginning. Yes, do you have it? Do you have your info? I might be able to pull it up as well. But if you have it faster, that would be so much easier. All right, Karen, you're on the list. Yeah, I'm going to be doing these mini readings once a week, you guys. So you're wanting to know when would be the good time to move. Okay. All right. 9/11/58. 4/20. Thank you. 8:32 a.m. Indiana. Okay. And let me add the current transits. Thanks, Brett. Okay, so let me take an image of this and we'll transition to the iPad display so you guys can actually see. I need to plug my phone in. Do I even have a charger? Let me do something real quick before my phone dies, even though I'm using my phone just for the chat. Let's... Okay. So let me transfer to the iPad display. Turn this baby on. And I'll tell you what I see. Thank you guys for your patience too. I know this part takes kind of a minute. This is these readings that's how it is. So. Okay. So can you see your chart? Yeah, I'm sure you can. So this is your chart, Valerie, but it also has the, can you plug it in for me, please? So I can, yeah. And then my phone's right here. Oh, I guess we can do that too, because that's plugged in. Yeah, that works. My desk is a desk that moves up and down, and it's got the ability for me to plug a phone in, which is actually quite interesting. So here we go. I don't even know what I was just saying, Valerie. Oh my God. Hang on. Okay. And Alexa, I got you on the list. Okay. I think there might have been one more person. So I don't know if you guys know that I am a Gemini. Did you guys know that I'm a Gemini? I have a lot of Gemini energy in my chart, and so I am just like all over the freaking place when it comes to like, my mind goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour. All right, so let's focus on Alexa's chart now. So the first thing that I notice is that the Capricorn stellium for you, meaning all of these planets in Capricorn, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, and the South Node, that's happening collectively in your third and your fourth house. More importantly, your fourth house, and that's the house of the home. So that to me it's like your home, whatever home means to you, just in a general sense, is completely transforming. It's completely changing. It is sort of the old way of doing it is dying, and then there's a completely new way that you're being asked to do this. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got your seventh house being affected here by Uranus and Venus in Taurus, and Uranus asking you to transform your relationship. So right now, like, your relationships are completely changing. You're being asked to like recreate relationships in your life, especially the ones that are sort of life partnership relationships, because that's what the seventh house is about. So your life is completely changing because, and it's very close to home because it's in the two houses that represent our closest to home things, the relationships between our life partners and the relationship between how we feel at home. And because of these major changes, you're going through like massive transition. That's the first thing that I notice in your chart. So let me also see. what area, what the chart kind of the transits say about what's going to happen with the move. So it's interesting because last week I remember doing, I think I did a transit reading for Alexa, and it was about career and work. And in her chart, what I talked to her about was there was these two powerful events that are happening. One is happening in the beginning of April. It's basically Jupiter and Pluto conjunction, which I think is significant to look at in your chart because it's happening in your fourth house of the home. So Jupiter and Pluto are going to be conjuncting in your fourth house. They're going to be conjuncting at the beginning of April, and then they're going to be conjuncting again in June, and then they're going to be conjuncting again in November. And when they do that, that's going to be like a burst of energy of energy and power to like help you kind of like get through anything that's difficult to do. So to like actually get things done. So I actually would give you the same kind of feedback or the same kind of message, is to focus. I know that the beginning of April is like way too soon, but maybe look into June and then look into November. Now June, right, logically is probably a way better time to move than November, but you never know because you might want to finish out your time, you know, where you're at before you like transition. But you have to remember that November is the time where, you know, we're getting closer to winter and things get cold, and it's difficult to move during that time. It's much easier because of that fiery summer energy to move and to take action in June. So that's what I would say. And on that June transit, that's where it's going to be the most power, that's going to give you the most strength. Now, the other thing is your 11th house over here, all of this like crazy Virgo stellium that you have going on, the full moon is actually going to be happening in your 11th house. And the full moon is literally about cleaning up whatever mess we have going on right now in our lives. Virgo is wanting us to change and to look at things with like a magnifying glass and to look at the really big details. So this is going to be a powerful moon for you, to look at the details of what's going on and to figure out a plan and to organize yourself. So that is going to help you with, you know, the planning process. And for you, this is happening in your 11th house of friendships and also sharing your gifts with the world. But in essence, regardless of what house it's happening in, this is a time to get organized, and this is a time to structurize our lives. Well, cool. That's good to hear if June is possible. So that's kind of what I would recommend for you. Definitely listen to your intuition. You've got the sun conjuncting Neptune in your 5th house of creativity. That means that your intuition is going to get activated very, very strongly. So trust what comes through. Like, for example, if you're sitting there and you're thinking about it and you're like, what day would feel better? And you have a certain feeling about a certain day that you're thinking about, or you can literally be like, okay, here's one option, here's the other option, and then think about one and see how you feel. If there's any kind of subtle feeling that you get from it, and then think about the other and that sort of usually you can tell right away which one means yes and which one means no, or which one seems like the better option, which one feels like it's flowing easier, or there's not friction there. That you can test your intuition by doing those kind of things. But that's kind of what I would recommend is definitely, I don't think any time before June. We'll just leave it at that. Cool. So I hope that helped you out a little bit. So Susan is next, and I'm going to check my PayPal real quick. Is Susan in here? If you're in here, will you let me know what kind of reading you want? and put up your information or your question. Oh, a transit reading is I'll look at your exactly what I just did for Valerie. I'll look at the transits that are going on right now and how they're affecting you personally. So if you have like a specific question like Valerie did, I'll look at the houses and the planets that represent sort of that area of your life and see what they're doing. And so what's like the best kind of maybe options for you or insight that you can get from looking at your chart. That's what a transit reading means. All right, I'm Susan, wanting a transit reading, please, regarding coming together with life partner. Okay, let me go back to my program and enter in your information. Susan, 11875. You were born at 1 a.m. in Memphis. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, Shannon. Yeah, I did. Thanks, Britt, for moderating. You've got a cool, you got a cool chart over here. Just looking at your natal chart real quick for a second before I add the transits to it. Got Venus in your 4th house of the home, Juno conjunct your moon in Aries. Where's Black Moon Lilith? She's also in your 4th house. Interesting. Jupiter is in Pisces in your 5th house. Oh, that's actually interesting. You've got Jupiter and Juno both in the 5th house of creativity, except Jupiter's in Pisces and Juno's in Aries. That's kind of like kind of gnarly energy there. Okay, so I'm gonna add the transits, and it's actually a really good time to ask this question because of Venus and the fact that she's in Taurus right now. So here we go. Got the picture. Now we're gonna switch screens again and finish this. Switch over to this. Okay. So you should be able to see your chart, hopefully, or maybe not yet. I wonder if it stopped. Sometimes the iPad kind of gets unplugged or whatever, and then I have to reconnect it. And it gives me a code, and then I have to enter the code, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do that. All right, Wendy, I got you on the list. Okay, so here's your chart and the transits that are going on right now. So the reason I say this is a significant time for relationships is because Venus has just moved into the sign of Taurus, and Venus is transiting your 6th house of being in the present moment, of working like your daily schedule. This is also representing your body and your health. So Venus in Taurus is all about seeing the beauty in the world. Venus in Taurus is about bringing love back into it. She's the goddess. She wants us to love, right? In Taurus, she's actually in her home sign. And for you, what this means, this transit is you're figuring out and you're working on trying to love yourself again. You get, oh, that was Shannon. The way I've been feeling, feisty. Oh, just confirming. Yes, sorry. I keep seeing Shannon's thing and thinking it's yours. So I have a question about your partner. What is the person that you're wanting to come together with? What is their sign? So right now there's a pretty big theme of you working on yourself and loving yourself. And so what I see here is like that's kind of the focus right now for you. So right now wouldn't necessarily be a time for you to reach out and try to sort of like, you know, grab or reach for something that's outside of you, because Venus is really wanting you to focus on you. And Venus will be in Taurus for, you know, it's about a month. So he's in Aries. Oh, hey, Arthi. So let's see what Aries. You know, this is actually really interesting because you have actually, you do have, you know, Taurus in your 6th house right here, but you also have Aries at the cusp of your 6th house. So I don't know if you know how astrology works, but every sign goes through 30 degrees. And then once it switches, it gets to, well, 30 degrees, but it's basically 0 degrees to 29 degrees, right? And so when it gets to 29 degrees, it switches to the next sign. And because of the house system that I use, which is the Placidus house system, the houses sort of, sometimes they're exactly, you know, one sign is contained within them, but sometimes they're kind of, they blend in together. So for you, you actually have Aries also in this house, and Venus did just move out of Aries. And that is that feisty energy of like, more connected to like taking action and wanting to like, you know, go get something. But honestly, like if I look at the transit that's happening right now, and also the fact that you have Taurus at the cusp of your 7th house. So if this person is someone that helps ground you, if this person also is someone that kind of activates you, and the fact that they're in Aries, and also the fact that Juno, who is basically the goddess of marriage or the goddess of partnership or the sacred divine feminine, the fact that she's in Aries means that you need, you know, someone that can help activate this energy. So somebody who actually is in Aries, to me, that sounds like a good combination because of that Juno placement. And let's see, you are Capricorn and you have your moon in Aries. You also have Venus in Aquarius, which means that you love, you know, when it comes to a partnership. So what I'm doing right now is I'm giving you everything that I see in your chart, whether it points to this sort of connection with someone who's in Aries is actually a good thing for you, or if it doesn't match at all. Right now, so far, it looks like pretty good, but like it's a good match. Because also what I was saying about Venus in Aquarius for you, you like that mental activation in relationships. Like you love, but you love that intellectual conversation. Same thing, it'll be the same if you have Venus in Gemini or Venus in Libra. Like the talking, the intellectual talk is like the mind communication is like really, really important. So if this person is like, you know, giving you, which if he's in Aries, he's probably activating that part of you that wants to be, you know, sort of action oriented and maybe a little bit impulsive and like playful and like let's just go do it. Like, let's not even think about the consequences right now. Let's just go have fun, you know? You need that in your life. So if this person is bringing that to you, then I feel like it's a good match, But you also need someone who's going to help you ground, and who's going to help you, feel comfortable. You have to feel comfortable in relationships too, because of that Taurus being in the cusp of your 7th house. So comfort within relationship is really important as well. Now, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly if it's a really good match, or when would be like the time that, you guys might actually, what would be like the best time that you guys could possibly come fully together, unless I had also his information and I was able to put, his chart on top of your chart, and just the way that the transits are here, and like combine them together and look at the aspects that all the planets, that your natal planets, are making to each other, because that's the best way to tell, like, if it's, you know what I mean, like what triggers you guys, what are some of the things that like makes it difficult, for you guys to be in a relationship, or maybe what are the things that make this relationship easy, what are the challenges. And so that is a way more in-depth reading, and I would have to have his information as well. But so far, what I see here in your chart, especially with Juno in Aries and Venus in Aquarius, and your 7th house in Taurus, and Venus right now in Taurus, this is like this is a good time for you to step into relationship, but it is a relationship where you are the most important thing. Feeling comfortable and feeling good about yourself and feeling confident about yourself and taking care of yourself, because the 6th house is about self-care, because you're getting ready in the 6th house, you're getting ready to like go out into the world and meet people. And like that's what the house represents. So you need to take care of yourself right now. And in that self-care, you are going to basically be preparing for a bigger journey, or a journey of like a committed journey. That's the message that's coming through for you here. So I hope that helps you out, and that gives you a little bit of clarity, or at least more guidance as to what is happening in the realm of relationships for you. And thank you for getting a mini reading from me. Yeah, Shannon. Yeah, that would be a cool reading. I should probably like design a reading that's definitely that as well. So, Micah, you're here, right? Micah is next. And let me know what kind of reading you want, and also your information or your question. Your North Node is pushing you to move towards him. Well, you have a North Node Sagittarius, which is actually in your 2nd house. So that's interesting. But North Node Sagittarius is like the sage that wants to, it's more of a spiritual journey. And it's, the difference is when you look at the opposites, right? So the opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini. Gemini is here in the world, in the daily life, in the sort of like the peasantry. And Sagittarius is like the sage that goes to the top of the mountain, sits in a cave, because he goes off. Like Sagittarius just takes off, and he wants to go on a journey, and he wants to go discover the world. And Sagittarius is actually a very independent energy. Sagittarius doesn't always like to be tied down. But the fact that he's an Aries is probably something that like is drawing you to him, because that Aries energy is like a fiery, full of life. It's like a seed that is sort of bursting open. That's that Aries energy. So that's why you're probably kind of drawn to that. But you also have to, look at the fact that Sagittarius North Node wants you to be in more of a, definitely not more of a, but definitely wants you to be in a spiritual way. Wants you to discover yourself and go on a spiritual journey. however that looks like. Maybe this relationship is that spiritual journey for you, you know? So there's many different ways to interpret that. But yeah, I do see what you're saying with your South Node in a fire sign, and in Sagittarius, that's like freedom loving sign. So interestingly enough, this could give you, if you don't like absolutely, you know, because you have that Sagittarius and Aries, both of those signs are kind of, they focus more on themselves than the other. It's more about like me. So having, maybe, you know, having two you know, fire energies coming together is actually what will help you guys be successful in a relationship, because you both require independence. So you can give it to each other. You know what I mean? That's also what I see. Okay. So I think Micah put up a question earlier, but I'm not sure what it was about. Who was after Micah? Shannon, you're after Micah, so... Yeah, she came in and said good evening. But then that's all she said, I believe. Yes, Valerie. Yes, that's my next project, is working on a beginner's astrology course. So Shannon, why don't you go ahead and put up your question? And yes, I'll need your information again. So here we go. Let's pull up Shannon's chart. Yeah, so that's my... okay, Micah, if you're here, then can you please tell me what kind of reading you want? And also, what's your question? So so let's hold off Shannon. I thought that Micah wasn't here. Oh. Like in the chat? Okay, so you had to tell me whether you want a transit reading, a natal chart reading, or tarot, and then if you have what you want to know. By the way, thank you guys for being here. Make sure that you X out of the chat and give the video a thumbs up while you're here watching, because I know this is entertaining. Like watching me like look at charts, it's probably a learning experience as well for you guys. Why does it feel like my chat is delayed? Yeah, I'm getting too hot. It's time to put my hair up. I feel like comments are coming in all late or something. Tarot? I'm assuming that's tarot. Not sure what you mean. Yeah, that's got to be tarp. You have to mean tarot. So if you want a tarot reading, just ask whatever you want to ask. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I'm just gonna like go out and go back in and see what I got. No, I'm like sitting here waiting, and like nothing's happening. It's crazy. Okay. So what do you want to know, Micah? So while we're waiting, feel free to ask questions or, you know, say hi to each other. All that good stuff. Okay. Hey, Deidre. Happy Friday. Hey, Moon's in Leo, guys. That's awesome. All right, Wendy, but you'll probably have to post that again when I come back to your reading, because I will forget how much you wanted to know. Oh my God, that's too funny. I'm sure you probably didn't mean to do that. Oh, nice, Julian. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Wendy. I don't mind at all. I just know I'm not going to remember that. 7 people from now. And that's what I thought. What steps does Micah need to take to make a good future? What steps does Micah need to take to make a good future? Okay. Micah, do you ever experience moments where you feel like you don't have enough? It's called lack mentality. Some people don't know it as that, but I'm curious is if you ever experience moments where you feel like you don't have enough to do the things you want to do. It's almost like a sense of holding back because you're afraid that if you like release a little too much, you're not going to have enough for everything you need to do. Another word for that would be this has a negative connotation, but like the word stingy kind of is coming up to me, but it's almost like, okay, it's not a negative thing. It's just, I feel like it's almost like a state of mind that is difficult to get out of, because it feels like it's based off of the fear of not having enough. I grew up with this fear. It was always like told to me, this is what I heard from adults in my life, like, we don't have enough money for this, there's not enough for that, we don't have enough for this, we don't have enough for that. And so that became sort of this inner voice or inner thought that I continued to tell myself, like, I don't have enough, we don't have enough, there's not enough. And what that does, I'm talking about this is what I'm talking about. This is the Four of Crystals, the first card that came out. So I'm talking about this because that lack mentality, when you think of how powerful your thoughts are, when you realize what you're doing with your thoughts, you will stop doing anything that will prevent you from moving forward into abundance in your life and into fortune. And feeling like you don't have enough is one of those thought patterns, or literally their belief systems. It's a belief system that will hold you back energetically, because you will not be able to manifest anything or move forward because you're literally energetically stopping yourself. It's like you're closing the door. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. When you repeat that so many times over and over and over, it literally becomes like a wall. So how do you move away from this energy, which is exactly what you need to do? You have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that no longer serves you. It's walking away from what doesn't work anymore. Something that's broken, it can't be fixed, right? Those thought patterns, those belief systems, they're part of a broken self. Because a full, confident, in the moment, alive, I said confident, but confident person will know who they are, will know their skills, will know the gifts that they bring to the world, and they will not waste any time in negative mentality or in feeling like they're not good enough or there's not enough to go around, because they know the effect energetically that kind of thought pattern will have on their actual physical life, on the actual things that begin to manifest in your life. So I just had a discussion with someone else, and someone else moving away from that energy. Well, yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now. I think you have really good intentions. And I think that when I look at this card that you get, the Page of Cups, this is about being in your heart or being heart-centered. So I think that the key for you is to drop into your heart space right now and to actually realize the moment you choose to let go, the moment you choose to walk away from those things that no longer serve you, that's where you literally start to see the magic in your life. The magician. You actually literally start to see the magic in your life, because when you release those thought patterns, you open up the door for new possibilities, for new ways of thinking. Maybe it's time for you to adopt a more expansive door opening type of belief systems where you know that you're going towards prosperity in your life. So you said, what are the steps? Your question was, what are the steps that I need to take to move forward in my life? And the steps that you need to take is you have to let go of the belief systems that are not serving you. And sometimes they're difficult to catch because they're so ingrained. They're like second nature. We don't realize that we actually have the choice to walk away from that, to literally leave those thought patterns behind. And it takes a while. But that's one of the steps that you need to take in order for you to step into full manifesting motion. There's some kind of lack mentality issue going on here that's holding you back. That's what you need to. So I think with the Two of Crystals, you feel like you're juggling a lot right now. You feel like there's too much on your plate. And so you have to sort of make a decision or prioritize the things that are the most important in your life right now. And then, take responsibility. The things that need to get done have to get done, but you have to prioritize so the stress level goes down. The other card that you got is actually the Hierophant. And the Hierophant he's like an ascended master or a teacher. He's also, I think, in some cards, the Pope. He's like the Pope. So there's a connection to a higher authority. There's a connection to, there's this trust. You have to trust that you've got what it takes. You hold the key in your hand. This woman in this picture is literally holding the light in her hand, so she's in control. And sometimes when you bring things out in front of you and it appears as if it's outside of you, that is a way of becoming the observer in your life. And instead of being so involved and lost in everything that's going on emotionally and mentally and feeling like it's all part of you, you actually separate yourself from the commotion the emotional commotion, and you watch it and you observe it, and that actually gives you strength and that gives you more control, because you realize, if I'm able to observe myself doing this, then that means it doesn't have to control me. These thoughts don't have to control me, because I could literally step away and observe it. So who is that observer? Who is the one that's watching you go through all this emotional commotion? Well, that's the you that is in the neutral space, right? That's your higher self. That's like, okay, I see all this happening. So how can you engage more of that space? So that's why the Hierophant is here. It's like you have to connect more with your higher self, because in that connection, you will realize that you have much more control over your emotions and your thought patterns and your belief systems than you think you do. The Page of Swords is the last card that we got for you. And this is physical and mental agility. This is you possibly getting a message. Maybe, something that doesn't feel that good, but mostly I feel like, because the swords are the element of air and the mind, again, this kind of comes back full circle. Everything that's going on right now is going on because you have a certain belief system that's like needing to be walked away from, needing to be released. And that is literally how you're going to move forward in your life. I'm going to recommend that you read a book called The Four Agreements. Have you heard of that book? If you haven't, make sure you get it and make sure you read it, because that's basically this message laid out in front of you, in front of me. It is that book that will help you understand like what I'm talking about, because there's so much detail to this topic and so much depth to this topic that it's you can't, you know what I mean? You can't explain it in like 10 minutes. So I'll recommend you read that book, because I'm really feeling in this reading that it's something that has to do with a belief system that you have about something that you need to let go of and you need to walk away from. So we're going to leave it at that. That's the message that you got. Thank you for getting a mini reading from me, Micah. I really appreciate it. And we'll move to Shannon. Michelle. So here's the list. We got Shannon, Lindsay, Kimberly, Michelle, Karen, Alexa, and Wendy. So we're going to go... Oh, it's called The Four Agreements. If somebody can type that into the chat, that would be awesome. It's called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Don Miguel Ruiz. And we'll take a pause to check out my awesome labradorite ball. No, you can't even see it that well but it's awesome. Magical. Okay. Thank you, Micah. Here we are. Shannon. Don't drop the ball. Whoa, was that a message for you, Shannon? I have no idea, but that was weird that I said that. Okay. Thank you. You had time to get all your info. 8775. 10:55 a.m. Misawa. How were you born in Japan? That's like such a crazy fact about you. We've never heard that story. Developing transit reading. Okay, question is around developing successful business venture, creative content writing, whatever else jumps out at you. Okay. So 8775 at 10:55 a.m. Okay. So here's your chart. Let's add the current transits. I'm going to take a picture. And we'll switch screens. Oh, okay, that makes sense. military family. Okay. Career. So you want to know about business venture, which is kind of like career, creative content, creativity, and whatever else jumps out at you. Oh yeah, thanks, Spirit. I will. So right after Shannon, I'll definitely do that. Okay. So you can't even see this because it's not connected. Couldn't resist? What do you mean? Oh. Alright, so now you should be able to see your chart and not, I don't know who else's chart was on there. Okay, it's coming. So let's look at your career house and let's look at your house of creativity. Okay, so right now, the moon is actually transiting your 10th house of career. Now the moon is only going to be, it's going to be in Leo for just a couple of days, and then it's going to move into Virgo. And the full moon for you is actually officially going to happen in your 11th house of friends, but actually also sharing your gifts with the world, which is significant because this is what, you know, the venture that you are going on. And so you're venturing out into the world, right? To do something that will show your gifts, your skills. This is a career path that you're choosing. And this full moon is asking you to get organized about it, right? Get organized and make it align to why, like, how is this going to affect the world? Like, how is this going to help the world? So I'm just that's just something that's coming out. Make sure that what you're doing, make yourself a little goal sheet. You could do this on the day of the full moon because that's the energy that's going to be there. I know it's not a new moon, but you can do goal setting and make it connect. So like you could ask yourself, you know, why do I want to do this? What is it going to do for me? And then what is it going to do for the world? And just keep making it bigger and bigger picture so that when you're actually working on stuff, you have that like connection to the main reason why you're actually doing it. Because that actually adds more energy and emphasis to what you're trying to create. Look at all this. You've got the Sun, Neptune, Chiron, and Black Moon Lilith transiting your 5th house right now. And Sun and Neptune are about to conjunct. The Sun's going to catch up to Neptune. But they're both in Pisces, which is a creative and imaginative energy. But Pisces and Neptune can always go in two ways. There's always two sides to the coin. One side is intuition, imagination, the world of dreams, like future dreams, things like that. And on the other is like escapism, illusion. So your job is, right now your intuition and your creativity are like on major activation because Neptune is transiting your 5th house of creativity. This is a great time for you to create. It's a great time for you to make something, like pull it out of the vortex and bring it into the real world or the 3-dimensional world. And then with the Sun, it's like, this is about you. This is your soul wanting to take that deep dive into the unknown, which is that Neptune, Pisces, what is the ocean, right? It's literally the Neptune, the god of the sea, right? The symbol for Neptune is his staff, right? His trident. So your soul wanting to take that deep dive and go and traveling and like flowing through, swimming through, pulling out, coming back with new ideas and new things like that. So I'm just saying this is a really good time for you to be like creating something new. You also have Chiron and Black Moon Lilith right here as well, though. Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's interesting because he's actually teaching you to understand yourself at a deeper level, and how can you creatively deal with healing your ego or healing your ego wounds in your life. And Black Moon Lilith and Aries in your 5th house of creativity is like, I want to do whatever I want to do. And so it can be like a good, again, like two sides of the coin. It can be like, this is a really good time because you are ready to do what you want to do. And I feel like that aligns more with you right now than anything else. You're ready to do what you want. You're ready to take on sort of more action. That's Aries. And you're also ready. You have that Pisces right there. Like you can tap into the creative flow of the universe and then bring it to action. And it's not only going to help you with that, it's actually also going to help you heal, because Chiron is right here, So there's a beautiful play of like everything going on. And again, you have, remember, you're born during a new moon, and you have the moon, the sun, and Mercury in your 10th house. So this is about a career path and it's all in Leo. So this is about a career path where you have to be the one in charge. Like you have to be the queen of your queendom. You have to be doing something in your life that aligns with your desire to bring more love into the world by doing whatever, right? There's a million ways to bring more love into the world. For you, whatever it is you desire, maybe you desire to help people. Maybe you desire to, help bring more understanding into people's lives. But this is something that's being activated right now, especially with the moon in Leo in this moment, like today and tomorrow, in the next like 2.5 days. So I feel like I know you're feeling this massive shift. And I guess what I'm telling you is that this is a really good time to do this because of all of these aspects that are happening in your chart. Did that answer your question? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot going on that points you in the direction. It's almost like you're right on time. You are on time. You're on the path, and you got this. And I'm really excited for you. Okay, so I'm going to check PayPal real quick, but Lindsay is next. So far, everybody's on the list. We got Lindsay, Kimberly, Michelle, Karen, Alexa, and then Wendy. Exactly. So, Lindsay, what did you want? What kind of reading did you want? And then also send me your information, please. I'm reading your question. I should probably read it out loud. I'm not sure which read type is best for this question. I'm open to what you think. I've been talking to a really nice new guy. I'm curious what the energy potential is here. Definitely tarot. Okay, so let me come back to me and let's pull some cards for you. How exciting! Do you know what his sun and rising sign are? So what is potential energy for this new connection in Lindsay's life? What insight does she need to have for this new connection in her life? He is a cusp, February 19th. So he's a Pisces Aries cusp? No. He's a Aquarius Pisces cusp? I'm like tripping balls here. I just said that out loud. Okay. So, yeah, he's definitely Aquarius Pisces cusp. That is actually a cool combination because you're a Libra. So he's got the air sign and the water sign, which for Libra, I mean, Libras love the conversation, and they love like the activation of the mind, and they I'm just now seeing the comments, and then they've got the emotional side, which is actually also important for Libras. I'm already feeling good energy about it, and I haven't even like really looked at the cards. Okay, so the first card that starts your reading is the Nine of Swords. And Virgo moon. Ooh, this is going to be a powerful moon for you too on Monday because it's a full moon in Virgo. So the Nine of Swords is like mental anguish. This is sort of like your starting point, but there's a journey here with the cards. But the starting point is like, I think you've been kind of in mental anguish. You're feeling some kind of like insecurity, uncomfortableness. Just something just doesn't like feel right. That you might be having nightmares. The energy has just not been feeling right. And so what is needed for you right now is the Queen of Crystals, because the Queen of Crystals, what she can teach you right now is how to ground yourself. The Queen of Crystals is like that Venus and Taurus energy. She's the Empress, right? The Queen of Crystals and the Empress are very closely connected. And when you think of Venus and Taurus and you think of the Pentacles element, which is the earth element, you have the Queen of the Earth, right? So the way that you ground yourself is by bringing love into it. So right away, plus Venus also rules Libra. Remember that. There's a really powerful transit in the sky. And it's all about love. It's all about bringing love in. So if you're wanting more romance in your life, if you're wanting, more of a deeper connection with someone, like this is a really good time to sort of kind of explore that area of your life, because Venus is in Taurus, in her home sign, in her ruling sign of Taurus, and she wants us to love more. She wants us to feel more pleasure. She wants us to be grounded. She wants us to have like the sensual pleasures of life. It's not just about sex, you guys. It's about everything that brings you pleasure, that makes you happy, that helps you see the beauty in the world. And that is what, that's why I think this Queen of Crystals is here, because you are moving away from that mental anguished energy and learning how to finally ground yourself and say, okay, I am ready for something new. I'm ready to explore something new. I've had a horribly hard time with the last few months, lots of gaslighting and opposition. Ooh, yeah, that's not fun. So the next card you get is the Star. So there is hopes and dreams that you have, that once you allow yourself to step into that love energy, they will actually activate your hopes and your dreams. And what you need to do right now, especially in regards to like the old, relationship or the past relationship, and also for yourself right now, is you need to get very clear as to what your thoughts are. Because true, gaslighting creates confusion. And if you're confused, you don't know which way to go. I've experienced that like my whole life, gaslighting. So I know very well, you know, that cognitive dissonance space. Probably not as, maybe it wasn't as bad as like I experienced, because I experienced it like growing up my whole entire life. So I was very, very confused for many, many years until I finally started to realize what's wrong with me. And it wasn't that there was something wrong with me. It was like I was just living out a life that was, I didn't choose it. It was like kind of thrown on me. And the people that threw it on me didn't choose it either. It just gets thrown and thrown and thrown around, and nobody knows where it comes from, and nobody takes responsibility for their actions and how they hurt people. And then it gets really convoluted. But it can leave you confused. It can leave you feeling like you don't really know yourself. And so that clarity of mind is needed right now more than ever. The Queen of Swords. She knows what she wants. She knows where she's going. She knows very clearly when to say yes and when to say no. She knows how to defend herself, right? So that's what you need right now. You need to be in a clarity of mind to be able to move forward with this new relationship, which I do feel has potential here. Now, the Page of Cups is a message of love. And this is again that Venus and Taurus energy. This is something, it's almost like something coming to you that has to do with love. And then the Three of Cups right after this. Interestingly enough, sometimes the Three of Cups can be interpreted as like third party situation. But when I look at the Three of Cups, I actually feel like it also can be interpreted as a time of celebration, maybe celebrating with friends, and letting yourself be around people, right? Letting yourself like live life. You know, being a Libra, and you said you had Mars, so your Scorpio rising, Virgo moon, Mars and Venus in Virgo. So you're very critical. You're very, very critical. You have to like ease some of that criticalness and step more into like acceptance and love that things are okay. And they're okay. It's okay for things sometimes to be messy. And it's okay for you not to have it all together all the time. But that's also kind of an energy that's in the past. And now looking at these cards, it looks like you're moving more towards your hopes and dreams. You're learning to be more clear about what you want. You're learning to ground yourself. You know, there's this message of love. There's an energy of celebration. This is happy energy. That's where I'm trying to get to. We're actually hanging out on Sunday, and I'm really excited to see. Well, cool, because, you know, Sunday is that full moon. And then the last card you get is the King of Wands. And the King, this is so sweet. Oh, so him being this is him. Him being an Aquarius Pisces cusp is actually makes him really compassionate and loving. And the Queen of Wands is a compassionate male figure. And he symbolizes a strong leader or a father, and he's known for his generosity and his integrity. Aquarius wants to help the world. Pisces loves the world. And with that energy, the combination of those two energies, right, being right at the cusp, he's going to have a little bit of both of those. I think this is actually a good match. I say like, just like go for it, but don't push it, but definitely be present for what shows up, because I think it can be really beautiful. And I think he can be someone who's this sort of energy, especially with the Pisces, can have the ability to truly listen to you and listen to your emotions. And we know how difficult it is when we get into relationships with people that cannot understand our emotions. So I think this is good. Yes, kindness. Yes. Yes. And let go of that old story, right? That anguish, like, doesn't match. It doesn't fit in your life anymore. Oops, sorry, that was kind of loud. So Kimberly is next. Yeah, I watched that video too, Shannon. It's a good one. There's an even better one called the victim control dynamic from Teal Swan. If you have been the receiver of any kind of abuse, the victim control dynamic is the best Teal Swan video you will ever watch. Hands down. All right, let's get this party started. I'm just kidding. We started it like 2 hours ago. Okay, natal chart for Kim. Let me pull up your info. What do you need from me? 1170. Born you were born in West Seattle? West Seattle, Washington. Oops, that was the time. Hang on, here's West Seattle, Washington. And you were born at 12:35 p.m. Okay, let me just make sure I got that right. 1170, 12:35 p.m. West Seattle, Washington. Go. And then, did I miss any? No, you're good. What is making me feel like I'm in a positive tower moment? Whew, what a cool question. Yeah, you're welcome, Lindsay. I loved doing that reading. It felt great. That reading was like really like, So go for it, girl. Get it. I'm just kidding. Okay, here's the picture. Let's change screens and let's show you this. Thank you, Brett. Hey, Rebecca. Wait, Kim was born in Seattle. What do you mean? Oh, New Year's. Sorry. Don't mind me. Just ignore everything I just said. Okay. I was like, a New York baby. What you talking about? So, why are you feeling like you're having a positive tower moment? Wow, this is such a cool question. Let's find out where the hell Pluto's at. Okay. So, right now, Pluto is transiting. Hang on. First of all, let me look at your natal chart. Your Capricorn Sun, Libra Moon, Taurus Rising, Venus in Capricorn conjunct your Sun. Wow, that's interesting. Why are you having a positive tower moment? Look at all that stuff in your 12th house. And look at all that stuff in your 6th house. You got North Node in Pisces. Oh, that's badass. North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo is like one of the most powerful placements for the nodes. Literally, North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo. And you have them in their home houses. Whoa, that's massive. Dude, you should get a natal reading for me because I actually want to look at your chart more. Okay, I'm just kidding. So what's happening right now in your life? First of all, the planet of, that creates the tower moments and destroys and then recreates is traveling through your 10th house along with, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. They're going to be transiting your 10th house for a while now. So that means that when it comes to career life, this is similar to Brit. When it comes to your career life, the things that the structures that are dying right now are the old ways. So if you're like in doing something that's related to career that you don't like, but you're sort of getting excited about maybe doing something new, that's a tower moment that's happening in your career house. And it's a positive tower moment because we're all going through a positive tower moment. Because for the collective right now, we are literally moving away from the old structures, the old ways of doing things, like governments and corporations at that level. That's Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, that's all those energies, right? All those major planets. They represent the big guys, right? With the guns. No, I'm just kidding. But they represent, like, the people in control. Saturn is structure, Pluto is power, right? The people in power, the things that once had power will no longer have power. But individually in our own lives, this means that in our own ways, the old structures are dying and the new ones are beginning. That's definitely why you're feeling it. You're probably feeling it very intensely in your 10th house of career, because that's the house that they're literally transiting. But there is a lot going on for you right now in the 12th house and in the 6th house, which is the house that aligns with your nodes. So right now, Neptune is about to conjunct the sun. Oh, that's cool. So Neptune is about to conjunct the sun, and they're actually also conjuncting your north node. Neptune rules the 12th house of the subconscious mind, and he's also transiting your 12th house, which means that your intuition to perceive things from beyond what we can see and hear and touch and smell with our 5 senses into what we can intuitively feel, that gateway is like open huge for you right now. And it's aligned with the sun, which is what your soul wants to feel, what your soul wants to experience. Connected to your north node, this is literally what you came into the world to do. So you came into the world to experience divinity. You came into the world to experience the mystic, to dive deep into the unknown, to understand the world that cannot be seen, to understand the world of dreams. You were probably like highly, highly intuitive. And right now that's being magnified. So the answers that you're looking for are going to be found in that unknown world. The answers that you're looking for are going to be found through things like meditation, closing your eyes and just focusing. Dreams, like write down, if you have powerful dreams, write them down. Go and interpret them. What do they mean for you? You are also, okay, and here's the major thing. You're not crazy. Here's the most important thing of all. So you said you're turning 50, right? So look at this. Do you see how, I'm going to delete all of that. On top of this, like, okay, everything I just said is like massive. Like nothing about that is like, oh, it was just this little thing going on over here. No, it's like massive, massive, massive. And here's the next massive thing. Do you see how Chiron is conjuncting your Chiron? Literally Chiron on top of Chiron. Do you know what this means? This means, I want to grab my book. Where is it? This means that you are going through your Chiron return. When we turn 50, we literally go through our Chiron return. And what that means is a complete, so not only are you experiencing all of this intense shifting that's going on collectively for all of us, you're also turning 50. So that's actually an amazing thing, because it is one of the most powerful. You're having your Chiron return, so it's the most powerful return. So it's like we have Saturn return when we're like 29 years old. Well, we have Chiron return. It takes Chiron 50 years to go through the whole chart and then return to its original position that it was in when you were born. That's what I'm talking about. That's your Chiron return that you're experiencing right now, which is the full And it's in your 12th house. Can you please just sign up for a reading from me? A more extensive one, because I would just want to dive into this. So you're going through your Chiron return, which is the point in life where we reach full spiritual maturity. Once in a lifetime. The completion of our spiritual growth, which for you is literally happening in the 12th house of completion. Like, there's so much here, I can't even. Let's add to it, okay? What else is happening in your 12th house of completion and spiritual, divine, mystical experience? You've got Venus and Uranus conjuncting in Taurus in your 12th house. So on top of that, oh, look at this. Also, your Uranus is actually conjuncting, your Saturn is conjuncting Uranus. Saturn conjunct Uranus. Wow. So your Saturn, which is in Taurus, so Saturn in Taurus is like, I don't think Saturn really likes to be in Taurus, but Saturn in Taurus is about, it's almost like solidifying the structures. But then Uranus is literally tearing them apart and building a whole new thing. So Saturn in Taurus is like putting the glue and then the brick. And you know what I mean? The cement and then the brick, the cement and then the brick, right? And then Uranus in Taurus is like, the three little pigs, right? It's funny because the Uranus is like the big bad wolf that comes and destroys your house, but he's not a bad wolf because he's actually like the key to the future, right? So he comes and destroys your house, then you have to rebuild it in a completely different way because the way that you built it before, it didn't work. These are massive things that are going on for you right now. Massive. I'm actually really excited for you. And there's more, but I think I'm going to stop right there because that was a lot. Yes, exactly. And the reason you're feeling that is because of all of that, but mostly because of the Chiron return. You are having a positive Dara moment. I love it. Yes, thanks for getting a reading from me. So we've got Michelle, Karen, Alexa, and Wendy. So just 4 more, and I think I'll probably I'll close the list. So Wendy will be the last one. I feel the massive. So Michelle, will you let me know what kind of reading you want? And yes, let's drink some minerals. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's not spiritual shift is not negative. We only experience it as negative because it's the coming out of our cocoon. It's like it's going from the comfort of being inside the seed to bursting out of the seed and becoming a tree or a flower or a plant or whatever. It's uncomfortable, but it's not negative. It's very positive and it's very necessary. It's growth. I think Michelle posted something earlier, but I think there's too many comments to go back and look. So if you could please post it again, that would be awesome. 11 seems to be the magical number. These are fun. Are you guys having fun? So Valerie was asking me earlier about a beginner's astrology class. And I'm definitely going to make one. And actually, I'll keep announcing this because I want to know how interested people are. But I want to do a pilot class. So my goal is to create an online course, a self-study course. But there will also be a Facebook group that people can be a part of. So if they have questions about the course, they can ask it in the group. And then as people take the course, there will be other people in the group that will be like just ahead of that group. And it'll just be a really beautiful community that starts to build that is about all astrology. Like, doesn't that sound fun? So, but before I actually create that course, I want to do a pilot program and run the class, like, because it's going to have 3 different modules. So do the 3 different modules with people within a group that I meet with like every week or every other week, and that will basically be like the courses that I run now. Like if you've ever done the Moon Goddess training or the Earth School for Lightworkers or the Finding the Magic Playground, in all of those courses we met once a week for like 6 weeks. So it'll be similar to that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I am trying to gather up a group of people that will be interested in doing that. There's still gonna be a fee, but you'll be basically the only group that gets to go through the class in this format, and then everyone else after that, I will be their self-study course. So that's what I'm leaning towards doing. So it'll, within the course will start probably within the next couple of months or something like that. So I'm like super excited about it. So, and it'll be, and I do want to get people in the class that will be able to give me really good feedback as to how the class is going and how you guys are receiving the information, because the whole point of the pilot program is to like make the online course as best as I can in the best way that I can deliver the information. So that's what's going to be like a lot of feedback about the way the course is structured. So thank you, Michelle, for your patience. Let's do this. All right, tarot reading. What's going on with love, career, and finance? Things seem to be on a pause. Sun, Cancer, rising, and moon in Gemini. Cancer, Sun, and rising, and moon in Gemini. Let's actually do, let's do a tarot reading. Yeah, for sure. I can, the transit reading, I have to know exactly what time you were born. But I think the cards want to talk to you. So let's pull some cards. Love, career, and finance. Cancer rising. Cancer rising. Whoa, hang on. Take it easy, cards. That's that. Thank you guys for all your patience and hanging out here. Okay. What does Michelle need to know about love, career, and finance? Right now, the South Node is in your 7th house because of your Cancer rising, which means that there's relationships are ending right now for you. Okay, there's like major relationship shifting right now because I realized that all of the Capricorn energy is happening in your 7th house. Yeah, right? Yeah, all that energy is happening in your 7th house of relationships. What's happening in your finance house? Cancer, Leo. The moon right now is in your 2nd house in Leo. But that's about it. That's the only thing that's in Leo right now. And then career, what's happening in your 10th house? That one's a little wolf. Capricorn. Capricorn. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. That means that's Aries. So what's in Aries right now? That means Chiron and Black Moon Lilith are in your 10th house of career. Are you might be feeling like you're getting a little deceived right now. Maybe you're feeling like you're in the illusion side of that Neptune transit, like things aren't what they seem. Don't buy into everything you hear, because not everything is true for you. Are you sure things are, you know what I mean? Like, are you sure that what's coming to you is what's actually going on? And the reason I'm telling you that is because normally, I mean, right now you're automatically going through major life transitions when it comes to relationships. Old relationships are dying, new relationships are wanting to come into place. When it comes to finance, it's you have to go out there in the world and kind of like and figure it out, in the sense of you need to be doing something actively with your life that brings in that kind of abundance. And then in your career house, it's like you might be feeling like a little bit lost right now, like you're not really sure what to do or like where to take it. So let's look at the cards that came out for you right now. The first one we got is the Starseed card. The Starseed card. The Starseed card is like the Lightworker card, but I want you to focus on the image of this woman here, and the light that she's holding in between her hands. This person, this woman, feels calm. She feels in control. Thank you so much, Britt. I really appreciate the help tonight. She feels centered. She knows who she is. She knows where she comes from, right? This is you right now. Like, or at least where you should be kind of moving in the direction of is like, you need to trust yourself more. You have this powerful connection, and unless you trust yourself, it's that same thing I was just talking about. It's like the belief systems, the things that we tell ourselves, like, oh, it's not working out, right? Oh, it's moving too slow, everything's at a standstill. I feel like those are part of like a belief system that it's not real. That's the illusion, because things are not at a standstill right now for anyone. Like, seriously, they're not. Like, 2020 is the year of like full massive freaking changes. Like, there's no way things could be at a standstill for you right now, because they're not for anyone. Like, everyone has been going through like massive shifts in all aspects of their lives, and we're literally moving into a new world. So I feel like you have to like harness your energy. You have to bring it in a way that you may not have, because you may have not trusted in your own power before, in your own connection, in your own intuition. And that is something that you need to trust. You need to be in the presence of, you need to be aware of, you need to be awake to it. The next card you get is the Three of Crystals, which is also a card of, it's rewards. It's like being rewarded for your achievements and your successes. And it is financially or through the approval of someone that you admire. So that's why I'm like, I don't think things are at a standstill. I think right now the universe is asking you to trust yourself, trust that things are actually moving forward. Because look at this next card too. It's the Six of Crystals. And the Six of Crystals is like, it's literally the person in the traditional tarot. This is the card where the guy is giving to the poor or whatever, like the wealthy person is giving coins to the beggars or something. So this is like a wealthy energy. This symbolizes charity, giving, generosity, like an inheritance coming. I mean, there's some positive cards here. You know what I mean? I don't see, well, so far I don't see anything that's too crazy. You've had 2 job withdrawals within 30 days. So you're interpreting that as a standstill, but it's not. And there's something there that you need to see. Why is it happening? Is it the wrong type of job? Are you trying to do something that is not what you're supposed to be doing? Because if you are, the universe is just gonna, boop, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that either. So it's not about giving up. You just gotta, okay, let's try something else. It's about figuring out what the best match is. The Page of Cups is bringing you a message of love. It's saying connect to your heart more. Again, that same energy of the first card. It's like trust your heart, trust your intuition. Like this is a message. Look for the clues. This is something that I tell my husband all the time. I said, look for the clues. What is it saying? Right? Is it saying things are at a standstill? No, that's what it feels like, but that's not what it's actually saying, right? When we say actions speak louder than words, look for the clues. What is it that you're doing? What part of it, like what, you know what I mean? What part of it didn't work out? Things like that. Now the next card that you get is the Eight of Wands, which is significantly enough, the Eight of Wands is about like really fast moving energy, because it means that you are quickly approaching your goals. And it could even mean that you're about to find love, believe it or not. There's a energy that is starting to move faster and faster. In the traditional tarot, it's like it shows the wands, they're all like kind of flying through the air. That's because something is speeding up. So that again comes back to, are you going to trust? Why does this feel like a love reading? This is interesting. There's a mixture of a lot of stuff here. But I think what's really coming out, maybe there's a little bit of everything coming out, but right now this just turned into like a love reading, because you get the Two of Cups, which is the coming together of 2 people that like really love each other, and it's like a beautiful romantic relationship. Something's coming. The Chariot is taking you exactly where you need to go. The Chariot is the fast ride. The Chariot is also like the Eight of Wands. It's like you just get on the Chariot and it'll take you there. You don't have to do anything. What you need to watch out for is things that people in your life that bring that conflicting energy, because of the Five of Wands. If there's someone in your life that you're sort of butting heads with, or having arguments or conflicts about, I say stay away from that. Or maybe you need to have like a very important conversation and communicate what really needs to be communicated, which is should come from more of a heart-centered space. So when it comes to love, I see a beautiful relationship coming in your life. When it comes to finance, I think that this is a journey of you to trust that energy is coming. And when it comes to career, is you have to trust yourself, and you have to trust that you've got what it takes to move forward with more confidence. because I feel like you have a very powerful mission here. And wealth and abundance are definitely coming. Just keep coming back to your heart. Like, just keep coming back. So I hope that I mean, I feel like that's kind of, the message has just kind of completed itself. So I hope that gives you some clarity. I don't actually feel like it's a standstill. I think that's the perspective that you're taking on it. So how can you change the perspective and make it into, like, see what's really going on beneath the surface? Because Neptune can be that escapism, and it can be that illusion. So are you seeing something that's not there? Are you missing what's really going on? Look for the clues. Okay, so next is Karen. We got Karen, Alexa, and Wendy. Thank you guys for your patience. So these last 3 readings, and then we'll be done for the evening. And I'll come back next week too. We're going to do readings once a week. So next Friday, I'll be back doing readings again. So if you something pressing going on, then you can sign up for a reading next week. So have your questions and your info ready, Karen, Alexa, and Wendy, so you can just paste it into the chat. So it'll make me get ready faster. All right, Karen. Oh, that's so cute. Transit reading. Just want your thoughts on what pops out at you. Okay. Let's check it out. So here we go, Karen. 1/13/61. $4 a.m. in Texas City. Make sure we get it right. Okay. Damn. Alrighty then, here we go. Diving right in. Let's share this baby. Give it a second, give it a second. Sorry, it's just giving me a hard time. Okay, there it is. Sorry. The little pencil thing doesn't pop up always, which is really annoying. I'm going to have to change the setting for that. All right, so what do I see here? Well, I mean, the major thing that I see here is like this, all of this over here. So you have like a massive amount of Capricorn energy in your chart. You're a Sun in Capricorn, you have Saturn in Capricorn, conjunct your Sun. You have Jupiter in Capricorn, also conjunct this. You have Mercury in Capricorn. It's all in your 2nd house. Have you ever looked at your chart before? North Node in Virgo, conjunct the Pluto, and South Node in Pisces, conjunct Chiron and Venus. So your Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius moon. But look at all that Capricorn energy. I mean, it just like jumps out at me massively. Dude, you're going through your Jupiter return, which I am too. When people that are born in Jupiter and Capricorn are kind of like late bloomers, in a sense of like they figure out later in life, they come into success like later on in life. They spend a long time like, you know, figuring themselves out before they actually get to the point of success, because Capricorn takes it step by step and figures out, you know, these steps and has a goal, and they will always get to their goal. Hey there, Moonlight Magic. I love that word, that name. So they get to where they want to go because they take the steps necessary to get there. Not because they were good at it or whatever, but sometimes there's skill and talent involved, but because they're confident and they're determined about where they're going. Now, having this massive Capricorn stellium in your second house of finances and the material world, and Capricorn is also an earth sign. Yeah, right? Yeah, right, exactly. You are definitely someone who has always been very serious. I think as a child, you probably seemed way more mature of a child than the other kids around you, and people kind of gave you more responsibility than the other kids around you. That always happens with people born Saturn conjunct their sun. Then you have Jupiter right there too, which magnifies that energy. So you have a very strong sense of responsibility, especially when it comes to making money and manifesting things in your life. However, right now, everything that's going on in Capricorn, right? The Saturn-Pluto conjunction of January 2020, Jupiter conjuncting Pluto, you know, Mars being right there, and also the South Node right there. The Saturn you were born with Saturn in Capricorn, which means that it's in its home sign. But right now it just got like humbled. It just got trashed. Like it just got told it's ish by Pluto, and it's going to have to rebuild itself. So you're probably feeling a very massive shift within yourself. You're having to maybe even remake yourself, reinvent yourself. Because you also have Uranus transiting your fifth house of creativity, which is about activating a new sense of creativity and your intuition too. I mean, does that resonate with you? Do you feel these massive shifts going on in your life? This is huge. Like that's a lot of Capricorn energy, and it's got to be difficult for you because Capricorn likes to have its ish together. Capricorn doesn't like being, you know, Saturn in Capricorn is like the authority. It's like the people in power that have authority, right? Like the judge, you know, it doesn't like to have its power taken away. But right now it's had its power taken away because that doesn't work anymore. That way of living, it doesn't work anymore. So we're moving into a completely different way of being. Emma had done studies on Reiki a short time ago. Having your North Node in the ninth house is significant because the ninth house is the house of spiritual integration. So there's like a Sagittarian flavor to it. And you are a Sagittarius rising with a Sagittarius moon, which means you also have this cool mixture of like a lot of Capricorn and a lot of grounding. But at the same time, there is a part of you that wants to be free. There is a part of you that wants to go off and research and like be in the world and discover new things. And it's a spiritual quest that you're on. So I think that that's significant for you right now. Let's see, what else is significant here? You also have Uranus in the ninth house, which is also a different kind of spirituality. Like you're unique in your sense of like being out in the world. And yes, being connected to the occult does make sense here because you have the moon in the 12th house, and the moon is the emotions, it's the intuition, it's also our fears, but it's also a desire to sort of dive deep into that realm of the unknown. Now Venus and the Venus-Neptune conjunction of Pisces is transiting your 4th house, which is affecting your home. So I would try to see if there's anything in your area of life which represents home to you that doesn't feel right. Look for more clarity in that space. Don't be deceived by things that are going on at home. That's what I would say. And those are the major things that I see here. I would recommend that you get a reading. I would like to, it would be fun to dive deeper into the actual aspects that your planets are making to each other. Good night, Michelle. Well, there you go. Again, like the massive Capricorn energy again, like dang. So Alexa, let's see your question. Okay, we got Alexa and Wendy, you guys. Yeah, definitely go check it out. For any of you guys, if you get a mini reading from me and you want to know more, my website is channelforgrace.guru, and that's where you can see the options of readings that I offer. The destiny cards handy. Okay, if you don't, can you tell me messages or energies from March through April, please? I think we have a major gateway April 4th. Okay. The destiny cards. Which are the destiny cards? The Sacred Destiny Oracle. Which ones are these? I don't know. They're not in the box. They're probably over there on the other table. So, but what I got, I think is gonna work. Let's pull a Lightworker Oracle card for you and actually read it from the book. And then I'll pull some more. You're welcome. March and April. So let's pull one for March and let's pull one for April. I think this is going to be more along the lines of what you're looking for. And then we'll pull some additional cards to see what's going on. Hello, welcome in. We're doing our last 2 readings of the evening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Please give the video a thumbs up and check out all the cool stuff that I offer. It's below in the description of this video. You can also check out my website, which is channelforgrace.guru, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at channelforgrace on all social media. Okay. So, wow. Okay. So you get initiation by air. And I'm gonna get the, hey Angie. And I'm going to actually read from the book for this one. And earth healing. So March is initiation by air, and April is earth healing for you. So initiation by air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind, devoted without a loving spiritual practice, can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you practice emptying it on a regular basis. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. So what I think is going on for you for this month of March is it's almost like I'm feeling the sense of like a clearing of your mind, the air element, right? So like you're getting initiated through your mind, and it is like an erasing of everything you knew, and like a reformation, or what's the word? A reprogramming. That's what I'm feeling. There's some kind of reprogramming going on for you this month, mentally. And then the other one is the earth healing. You are making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met by the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters, and you will be supported. The earth recognizes you. That's powerful right there. She sees you as a conduit through which she is fed higher frequencies of light, love, and divine presence. This assists her on the journey of her own evolution. Earth is an exceptionally beautiful and powerful divine being in her own right. Yet she, like every other being, benefits from the assistance of higher frequencies, which offer a loving hand to help raise her vibration and continue her evolution. I think there's like a reprogramming going on for you in your mind, and then that reprogramming will realign you back to like the service that you're supposed to be doing in this world. Like the mind clearing will make way to you being that, like it'll open you up more to the messages that will come through, right? The light frequencies that will come through, and it'll strengthen your connection to the actual planet. So I'm gonna pull a few from the Moonology cards, just to help you kind of deal with like all of the emotions that are coming up for you right now, all the fears. The moon represents our fears, so any fear or emotion that's coming up, these cards can give you insight into that realm. Yeah, this is a powerful message. I'm going to pull 3 of these. So what else does Alexa need to know regarding any fears, any emotions that she's dealing with right now? What guidance can help her deal with those things that are coming up for her right now? The first card, okay, 4 came out. So you've got, what do you need to release? The waning moon. What do you need to release? You've got communication is the key. New moon in Gemini. You've got look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. And this one is interesting. The void off course moon, which means that the moon is making no aspects to any planets. It's just kind of like floating in outer space. And what that energy usually represents is nothing will come of this situation. So I think this is a powerful message. I don't think it means that like you're not going in the right direction. I think that something that you're working on right now is not the way that it's supposed to go. So it's about this is about changing gears. Where in your life do you need to change gears? And it can be a very difficult question to answer, but a very important one to answer. Where in your life do you need to change gears? Because nothing will come of this specific way of doing this thing. Actually, I think that was the more powerful message that came through. just there. Yeah, I think so. That one's deeper. That one's like, you got to look within for that one. You ask yourself like, okay, what is it that I'm doing that is not going, you know what I like, that one's going to take you like sitting down, and I have the feeling of it being like a serious decision that you need to make. Some kind of serious decision, something that might have been coming up, and you're like, maybe that wasn't the right move to make, and I need to like make a serious decision about a different direction to take my life. Think about that one. That one's deep. All right, Wendy, I think you wanted a transit reading. Thank you, Alexa. Appreciate it. Okay, good. I was like, why am I feeling? Yeah, there's something about maybe that wasn't the right move to make, and maybe that needs to be revisited. And it's totally fine, right? It's totally fine. Just go with the flow. Somehow that's coming through. I'm like, whoa, that was like random, but I was like, somehow that was the most important card that came out. I felt it. I was like, whoa, what's that about? You know? Okay, I would love to do a transit reading for you, Wendy. Feeling a lot of energy shifts. Spin my wheel and tell me what you see. Okay, let's do it. I wonder if I saved your chart. Let's see. Oh, I did. Yes. Okay, so let's put the current transits there. Let's take the picture. And then I'll show you what I see. And you're welcome, Alexa. It's still connecting. 2584. Okay. So this is our last reading of the night, everyone. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. Okay. Let's see what we see here. Wait, that's not the right chart. Here we go. This is the right one. Okay. Feeling a lot of energy shifts. So when you say that, the first thing that jumps out at me is your 8th house, and the fact that Uranus and Venus are transiting your 8th house of change and transformation. Uranus creates change and transformation. Right now, he's asking us to rebuild our world. And this means that this house is also the house of death, ruled by Pluto. And with the conjunction to Venus, it's interesting. It's almost like old relationships will die away, will die off, and then new relationships will take their place. But these new relationships are going to be very transformative relationships for you. They're going to be relationships that are very different than what you're used to. Plus, Uranus is actually conjunct your, well, it's close to being conjunct to your South Node in Taurus. And that means that it's asking you to also take a look at your desire for things to always be a certain way. your desire for things to, your south node. I mean, I don't know, did I say north node? It's your south node. Your desire to always, for things to stay the same, it's almost like that Taurus sort of, I'm going to stand my ground like the bull. But Uranus is like, no, you can't do that right now. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to move away from that, especially you individually. You're supposed to move more towards a completely different energy. Plus, when you were born, the Uranus was conjunct your north node in Scorpio. So basically your Uranus is opposing your natal Uranus. So you're going through a Uranus opposition right now. Dang. That's actually really intense. That's massive. Let's see if I can... I might have to we might have to talk. I'm gonna send you later in the chat the meaning of the Uranus opposition, what that actually represents, because it's a very significant transit that happens in our lives. It's literally happening today. Look, like your Uranus is at 3 degrees and Uranus is at 3 degrees today. So that's like massive. But this is a Kundalini awakening. Uranus rules the Kundalini energy, the creative life force. So when we have like Uranus square, Uranus opposition, this is moments in our life where most people go through. Wow, actually, Wendy, you should seriously get a reading from me. So most people go through what we call their midlife crisis at the Uranus opposition. And everything that so what happens is the Kundalini energy awakens in their body. No, you're not crazy. The Kundalini energy awakens in their body. And so it's like their desires wake up. Their inner desires wake up. Deep-seated, rooted desires like wake up. And what they're trying to do, like for the divine feminine or the women, they're trying, your job right now is you're moving towards becoming stronger, like integrating that masculine, strong, powerful, like this is me and this is what's up, right? So like, yeah, and you might be feeling like your body's shaking, you know what I mean? Like trembling. Those are all symptoms of Kundalini rising. But your job, so men are supposed to integrate the divine feminine within them, and women are supposed to integrate the divine masculine within them. Feminine. So that's what's going on for you right now. I mean, this is a massive awakening right now. Dang, and it's so close to the freaking full moon. But this transit is like, it's here right now, like in this moment. That's why I'm like, whoa, this is like very, very significant. You're going through that right now. And not only that, it is literally, there's a connection here to your life purpose, because your Uranus is conjunct your north node. And right now, Uranus is conjunct your freaking south node. Dude, okay. So I'm gonna just like send you some stuff in the chat to like kind of talk about this a little bit more. But dang, like you're going through a massive shift right now, massive Kundalini awakening. And the work is to integrate and let yourself move into that. It's almost like step into your power. That's what Uranus opposition is about. Is you step into your power, into your masculine power, into like it's about opening up your throat chakra. Speak up. it's time for you to start speaking up and say what you want to say. Like, let it out. Like, open up the throat and freaking say what you want to say. Because if you don't, when the next Uranus square comes up or the next Uranus opposition happens, that energy will be like trapped. So it's very important for you not to trap yourself. And right now it's like, open up your throat chakra, say what you want to say. You got to express yourself, right? Because that's what the masculine does. It just says what it wants to say, wants to express itself. It's in its power. It's confident. It's like, bleh, right? It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable for sure. So, dang, Wendy, this is crazy. Wow, this is awesome. So, I mean, spin my wheel. Get out, dude. You literally said spin my wheel, and the Kundalini energy rises up through the spine, and the chakras are literally wheels that are spinning. Dude, mind blown. That is crazy. That just literally blew my mind. Your wheels are literally spinning fast. So there you go. I don't even really need to look at anything else, because that's a major focus. You need to focus on that right now. Whoa. Yeah. Oh my God, Wendy, this is wild. I can't even handle this right now. This is major. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to keep talking to you once this is over, because this is just too massive. So we'll leave it at that. And thank you guys so much. Oh my God. I love doing these readings. Like, I love like bringing more guidance, and there's like way a lot to say. Yes, you have lots to say, and you need to say it. Oh, thank you, Red Nappy Summer. What a fun name. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing this once a week. So just be on the lookout. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I usually like let you know when a video is going to be happening hours before it happens. And I release pick a card readings and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you to the moderators. Brittany did an amazing job today moderating. And thank you to everyone that signed up for a reading tonight. And I'll see you guys very soon. On Sunday, I'm going to go live and do the full moon astrology video, where we look at the full moon chart and talk about everything that's going on and what this full moon means. This is a full moon that is the official completion of this whole entire last year. And then we move into the new year, the new astrological year, into Aries. And then on Monday is the full moon. So Monday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have our full moon in Virgo ceremony. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you guys again this weekend. Sat Nam.